Today we're putting a war machine in your lap.
That doesn't sound very hygienic.
It's not.
Gaming laptops have come a long way since the days of giant, heat-producing monsters, and War Machine is leading the way with their Tomahawk 17. Etched with a custom War Machine logo, this sleek 17-incher has ATI Crossfire video cards, an Intel quad-core processor, and 4 gigs of DDR3 RAM. Shatter benchmarks and splatter noobs, starting at $2,750.
All right.
Look at this thing.
Yes,
Look at that thing. Look at that thing right there.
Now, we have seen some ridiculous-looking game laptops, so this one isn't that bad. It's just under 2 inches thick and weighs about 10 pounds.
Yeah, weighs about 10 pounds
it's
is the
pretty
key
heavy.
thing there.
But which is practically the same dimensions as the Alienware M17X. Both are pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the black etching and the glossy case?
You know, to be honest, look, it could look worse. This design is not that gaudy. It actually looks pretty good in person. The thing is, like, there's just no way, like, there's no getting around the fact that this thing is giant. So it's the size of a desktop crammed into a laptop, but it's heavy. But for what they've done, it looks good. I'm not a fan of the glossy laptop cases though, because you get the finger grease and the Olestra stains like leaking out all over the place. And
yeah, right now it's like on the matted part, it looks we're getting a lot of finger smudges on it.
But again, could be worse. At least they didn't try to get too crazy with it. No racing stripes or coffee can exhaust coming out of it. Like,
not so bad.
At least
just
it's
a
good.
skull.
Just a skull.
Now, another really important part of these laptops is the amount of keyboard and wrist space.
Right.
Since you're going to be resting your arm there a lot. What do you think about the gaming experience on this? Because I heard that it's kind of...
It's so-so. And look, there's a lot of wrist space, which is good. But that also means you have to reach a little too far to actually get to the keyboard.
And that means the edge is hitting you right there.
Yeah, and the edge of the laptop really digs into your wrist. The other thing is, look, they should have made the keyboard bigger. First of all, a laptop like this, like I understand that for gaming and certain MMOs and whatnot, people like having a numerical keypad. But if you lop that off, you can get a full-size keyboard into this bad boy with no problem. In fact, they even could have stretched the keyboard out a little bit closer to the edges, I think, because it's just, for such a giant laptop, it just seems like a small keyboard. It is backlit, though, which I'll give them. 17-inch screen looks great, full 1920 by 1200, high-def resolution. It also has an HDMI out, which is great. Overall, extended gaming is probably going to get a little uncomfortable on this thing, but there you have it.
And that's what it's for, so you want it to be comfortable.
Right.
Now, the ATI Crossfire video cards and quad-core processor have some serious potential for really great performance. We put it to our test. How did it do?
It pretty good, actually. In our 3D Mark Vantage test, it did the best that we've seen from any gaming laptop. Final score is about 5,700 points. Keep in mind, though, this score is relatively low for a gaming computer because the desktops score in the, like, 1,200 point range for far less money. Or, I'm sorry, 12,000 points. So, I mean, you get almost double performance for half the price. So don't think that, like, just because it's the highest-end gaming laptop that it can actually compete with a gaming desktop. Yeah.
All right.
So the games still look great. You know, we were impressed with the hardware. We did have some crashing while playing. That could be a hardware issue, could be some drivers, who knows. But we definitely had some issues with it.
Okay, it starts at $2,750. Do you think it's a good deal?
It's about average. About average. Alienware has better specs, specifically the processor and hard drive for the same price. We're also a little skeptical of the craftsmanship here, but overall, 2.5. 2.5 out of 5.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
We like where they're going with this, but the Tomahawk is still has a little ways to go, so it could get there.
All right, well, there it is. That's it for GadgetPod. Remember, for even more of the latest news on computers and tech, check out g4tv.com/thefeed.